Welcome to People Are Everything, the show where I ask my guests, who are the 5 people that have shaped the person you are today? And today we have Laura Garcia. Laura is dialing in from Bogotá, Colombia, which is as exotic as it sounds. And I don't know, I recorded this just after the whole Bad Bunny thing at the Super Bowl. And I fell in love with that whole idea of South American culture. I mean, if we think about it, we're all surrounded by it. There is so much of depth and richness on music, in food in particular, and this was a very rich conversation too. And I just fell in love with the place and also with Laura. I definitely want to book my ticket. So I think you're going to really enjoy this. There's a lot to this conversation, particularly about Colombian lifestyle. And yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy a bit of South American culture with Laura Garcia. Hello, Laura. Welcome to People Are Everything, first of all. How are you?
Hi, Julia. Thank you very much. I'm really happy. I'm really excited to be here. It's an amazing opportunity.
Oh, listen to that accent. Well, listen, first of all, I know you're calling in from Colombia. I don't know anybody from Colombia, so I'm very excited about this. You are going to be my research, and as my son says to me, you're going to be my Google. It's like, so you're going hopefully along this conversation, I'm going to learn lots and lots about Colombia. But yeah, you're my first South American. How about that?
Oh, amazing. I'm happy. I'm happy to be part of this show to tell you a little bit more about Colombia. I live in Bogotá, in the capital. And as I said to everyone, when you decide to come to Colombia, please let me know. I will be more than happy to show you my country.
What's it like? Tell me everything. I'm genuinely fascinated. What's it like?
Oh yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. Of course, there are a lot of stories and ideas about Colombia, but I always said people, you really have to discover from yourself. You have to come here, try the food, have conversations with people around it, go and enjoy all our landscapes. Having the chance of not having seasons, it's also wonderful. So having the same weather all over the year.
Oh,
But of
really?
course, it's wonderful because here in Bogota, it's a little bit colder. But if you drive 2 hours, you'll have like really warm places or cold places. So all over the year, you're able to have every single season. So yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. We'll be happy to have you all of them with us.
Do you know what? Is it anything like Bad Bunny's halftime show? Because if it is, I'm coming. Because that, to me, was astonishing. I just thought, what a riot of joyfulness. I mean, I thought it was brilliant. And I just thought, God, these South Americans, they know how to party, don't they? So
Yeah, definitely.
is he a big deal in Colombia? I guess he might be.
Yeah, he had a concert, I think it was 2 weeks ago, here in Medellin, in another city. It was like a huge show. And it explains a lot about the Latin culture, about how we gather together, how we party, of course, how we grow each other, the really important of family in here,
Mm.
like the sense of community and to enjoy even the hard situations or the tough moments that we have to face up. Um, it shows like a lot of essence on it.
Yeah. And I'm learning, I suppose all of us need to see things for ourselves. You know, I'm not somebody who dismisses, the news or anything like that. I watch the news avidly and I'm very interested in the world. But I know there's no substitute for actually getting on an aeroplane and going having a look for yourself. And I learned that through my time at India. I spent 5 years in India and I
Wow.
really got to know it. And I don't think you can really know a country until you've really properly spent time there. So,
No.
so no, listen, I am really excited about this partly because I want to get to know you, but partly because I don't know anything about Colombia. And I think you're right. Some of us who may only associate it with some negatives, but if, like I say, I know the weather is amazing. From what you say, the food is fabulous. And I imagine I would get a very warm welcome if I came. So,
Totally. I'm
all
happy
right.
to redefine that image that, yeah, of course, we've having a tough history. We've been having tough situations, but still is way much more than that. It's food, it's family, it's music, it's culture, it's people around. It's enjoying the simple things. It's to celebrate life, I would say.
Well, Laura, selfishly, I'm only doing this podcast so I can meet loads of people around the world. I mean, that's my, I've already told about Nancy, who I met in season 3, I think, who's from the sort of Boston area, and we met up already, and I'm going back to see her again this year. So yeah, I'm up for making friends, Laura. So let's see, let's be
Let's see.
friends, as they say. I want to be a friend. Okay, so we've talked offline, and you know what to expect in this little podcast of ours. And I usually start with how we know each other. And Brandon is just the gift that keeps on giving, isn't he? He just keeps introducing me to such wonderful people. He's such a generous person. So you're on the Brandon list. And I can't remember exactly why, because obviously he knows a lot of people. But there must be something about you that he specifically said you need to speak to Laura. And I don't remember if there was anything that stuck in my mind, but maybe you could shine some light on that. But that's how we met, wasn't it? It was through Brandon.
Yeah. And you said like he's always generous. He knew a lot of people and knows about everything. Having conversation with him is like this delightful show that you want to be there and not ending up never. Um, I've been working with him for 2 years. I had this amazing opportunity to know him. At the beginning, of course, I was really nervous. It was like this first interview, and he started asking me about my purpose and how I reached my purpose and my story. And I was like, I was just expecting like a really traditional interview.
Yeah. What did you do in your last job?
Yeah, exactly. And what is your expectations and what to
Yeah.
do and how you face this type of situations? And he said, like, tell me more about you and your purpose and how is your family and how is and the last question was like, I want to listen to your music.
Uh,
Please let me know 2 artists that you really enjoy listening to their music. I was like, what? And every single conversation with him is like a huge surprise, is this huge opportunity to learn in a different way, like the way he sees the world and understand it. Oh my God, it's been a gift every
Yeah.
single day that I spend with him.
Oh, how wonderful. He's not allowed to be one of your 5, by the way. I've just made that rule up. Because otherwise, everybody I speak to will say, and I'll say, who's number 2? And I go, well, it's Brandon. And I go, who's number 3? Oh, it's Brandon. No, just kidding. Yeah, I mean, did you get a chance to listen to our podcast, him and me?
Yeah, of course. Of course. The Power Rangers team. That should mention.
I loved it, and you're right. I learned so much. I mean, and he do you know why I think why he's so impactful is because he kind of does the unexpected, but then it seems so obvious. So he asked me unexpected things, and then afterwards I reflected and went, "That's such an obvious thing, but no one's ever asked it me before." It is incredible skill of his. So I found myself really, I've actually embodied a lot of the things that he said to me. One of which being, ask people what their expectations of you are today, and what do they want from the interaction. And we're so self-absorbed, aren't we? We always think, well, you want to ask what other people, what they can do for you. But actually, that whole sort of stakeholder-centric approach that he has is very much the opposite. It's saying, how can I show up for you today? What would you need? What would you consider good to look like?
Exactly. It's a game changer. I have that same feeling. Like what I never thought about leadership in this way. Like it makes sense.
It's so obvious.
Totally sense. But what I like the most is like it's not intellectually, it makes sense, of course, but it's like in the souls. Like it makes sense for humanity. It's like, oh yeah, it's not just I understand. It makes sense to me. It became part of my story. So
it's like an of course moment. Do you want to hear another one? Nothing to do with Brandon. I just learned this yesterday, and it's so obvious that I'm now like going, why have I been all this time doing the wrong thing? Okay. Are you ready for this, Laura?
Okay, ready.
Apparently, it's better for your body to shower before bedtime and not in the morning. How about
Okay.
that? Yeah, I know. And I looked at that, then I thought, no chance. No chance. We've all been showering in the morning for all of time. However, what they say, they being these scientist types, is that if you have a shower at bedtime, you are lowering cortisol at the time that your body needs to have it lowered because you're going to bed. So something about the warmth and the water and stuff, it lowers your cortisol. And because you're already in a heightened state, you need to be lowered. Whereas in the morning, you're in a lowered state and and then you go and heighten it. And apparently the body doesn't like that. Blood pressure isn't happy. Heart isn't happy. And get this, apparently in the nighttime, our body, clever little thing, is repairing itself while we sleep, including our skin and our hair. And in the morning, we go and wash off all that repair. And I bet it's fuming. I bet it said, I've worked so hard all night to repair your skin, put all the right oils in your hair and put all the right oils in your skin. And the first thing you do is wash it off. Absolutely
Take it out
fuming.
all my work. Oh,
Anyway, I tried it. I tried it last night. It's good.
it's really good.
It's really relaxing. And, I just thought it was I'm going to give it a go. Because I thought, actually, that makes sense to me. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. Anyway.
Feels like it makes sense. I remember when I lived in Austria, they told me, like, of course we had to shower at night. I said, at night? No, you have to clean up yourself and get ready for the day and have this like fresh start in your day. And they said, no, you have to clean up yourself and prepare to rest properly.
Yes. It makes so much more sense to me. So the Austrians have been doing that already, have they?
I don't know if 100% of them, but my friends, yeah, they took showers at night.
I'm so late to this party.
It makes sense.
We shall both try it. Let me know how you get on. All right. So Brandon's the link, and then so we spoke, and I was excited about the conversation. And then I was, my next question I always ask everybody before we sort of get into the whole thing is, I know a little bit about you because of the conversation, but I think it's always nice for the listeners to get a bit of a summary from your perspective of who you are and what you're all about, and not just your job. I like to know other things. So go ahead.
Wonderful. Well, like a general explanation, yeah, and way more than the job that we're performing. Well, I'm Laura. I lived in Colombia for South America in the show. Love to be that representative. I'm a passion person, definitely. I've been learning a lot. I've been very curious my entire life, and I've been falling in love deeply with leadership and soft skills. And there is like these common questions that I always hear in my head. It's what makes us humans? Like, which is the humanity that we are sharing all together? So I had a chance to come to school here in Colombia, build wonderful friends that accompany every single day of my life. I had a chance to go to the university. I study here in Colombia business management and international business management. And in Austria, I study global sales and marketing. I've been working in this, like the business part, the business side. And I was trying to link like why business and why I'm like deeply convinced about it. And it's like, I think it's the whole infrastructure to make things happen. We need to be able to organize, to dream about it, but also to make it happen. Of course, I start my professional career, specifically in leadership.
So straight from the bat, you're straight out of university or whatever, you went, I'm going to study leadership. I'm going to be a coach or whatever. Did you literally came to you that strongly?
Yeah, it was at school, you know. I had a chance to be part of the Scouts, International Scout Organization. And I also remember I was like 14, 15 years old. And I went to, it was like a workshop, an experience of Jesuits. We call it curso taller. That's the Spanish word for it. And it's like 9 days outside of the city, just working on your leadership, on yourself, on getting to know you, your context, your impact. And I said, oh my God, this is it. Like, this is the call for life. In that experience that I mentioned you, they say something that is like, I refuse to live a life leaving the world unchanged. Like, I
Yeah.
really need to do something in this part. And I said, yeah, definitely. Uh, it's not just, it's having the extraordinary, yeah, this mission, this purpose, but daily.
Yeah.
It is not just like that thing, like, oh, my purpose there, like in the sky. No, it's my purpose here every single day. So yeah, I fell in love with leadership. I fell in love with all what we said about soft skills, communication, emotional regulation, decision making, team building, all of those things. Like these superpowers that give us the chance to relate better with ourselves and with others.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started from there, university in there. We like we organize a company here in Colombia in which we train people developing soft skills for little kids, for young people, for people in university, for people at work. And every single part, it's how we can develop ourselves, how we identify, which is our humanity, and start building up with the other. So, like creating this recognition through the us.
Yeah. Oh, really cool. I mean, I don't think there's anything more rewarding than studying human beings anyway. I think we are it. I mean, yes, love amazing to study the natural world and everything that we inhabit. But as a lifelong pursuit to know yourself and know yourself in relationship to others, I think is probably what we're here for. I think this is what we're here for, isn't it? To learn what it is to be human in all its forms and all its not what I mean by forms, in all its expressions, shall we say, all its strengths, its weaknesses, its fallibilities, everything. And I think there's no better thing to study personally. So I don't know if you've heard. I had a guy called Doug Skoke recently.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of him?
No,
Oh, check him out. It was a great
not yet.
conversation. He made many people cry, actually. I've had a lot of feedback said they had to stop in their tracks and have a little tear.
Okay.
But one of the things he said, which I thought was, I suppose many things, but one that really stood out for me was, you know, um, the importance of falling in love with yourself. You're the one person you are going to spend the rest of your life with, come what may. So you may as well fall in love with yourself. And I just thought, isn't that interesting? We used to call that being selfish. And actually, it's quite the opposite. I think if you learn to fall in love with yourself, what I think you may well be a better human being to others. So therefore, it's not selfishness. It's sort of, I don't know, feels like quite an important and necessary thing to do to connect with other people. But yeah, so you'd like him. You should listen to Doug. He's cool. He's a cool guy.
Definitely. And thank you for the reminder. Yeah, it's part of this purpose, of course, of getting to know each other's, but
Mm.
by through the other person. Like the first time I heard about the podcast and all the things, I said, of course, this is like the moments, like the aha moments in your life. And I said, oh my God, I'm terrible remembering those kind of aha moments. Like I said that I am really have a bad memory. Other people said like it's hyper focus. I don't remember exact words, but I remember how we feel in the
Mhm.
conversation. like the sense of the conversation, like the taste of it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, definitely. No, I think the name of your podcast reflects that. People are everything, and the part of being able to connect with other person, it's of course getting to know you,
Mm.
to understand you, to enjoy yourself, to advocate for yourself, not in a selfish way. That I think it's something that we've been learning for a while. Like that's the common thing that we are normally hearing, especially in women, I have to say.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like, hey, advocating for yourself will give you the opportunity, of course, to serve as well in a better way. So it's like this balance in between.
Yeah, because there's still service in all of this. It's not all about self. I don't know, self. Oh, I don't know what I'm looking. What's the word I'm looking for? Self-absorption. It's not about that. It is about connecting better with others. Oh well, listen to that. I think we're going to have a very soulful conversation, Laura. Um, and I'm always very keen. You mentioned a little bit there about your memory. So how did you find picking your five? Was it all right? Was it?
Okay. So I said, okay, perfect. And I start like hearing some examples of your podcast and the episodes and the conversations. And normally it's like, oh, I remember I had this conversation with someone in the street. And it suddenly it shifted the way I perceive things. And I was like, I have to tell Julia, I'm not able to record this podcast because my memory, like my brain, it doesn't work in that sense. And I was saying, of course, if I bring my husband here, he will say you exactly the words, the context, the date. Like he's the kind of person who keeps the track.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I am that good at it. When I start saying, okay, which is like the purpose of understanding. And I remember once I heard like you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with.
Hmm.
Okay, but what about time? How we start connecting? And I said, definitely it's about the way people makes you feel and the
Mm.
way people, it's really funny because we talk a lot about perception is reality in stakeholder center coaching. And it's like, yeah, it's how you experience yourself through others. Um, and I saw Avatar. I don't know if you had the chance to see that movie,
Oh, the
Avatar.
first one I have, yeah, not the latest one.
Okay. Uh, there is a part, and it's like a funny reference because they said like, "I see you," and they make like this, like, "I honor you," and I said, "It is exactly that. Like, I don't just observe you. Like, I see your hair, I see your clothes, and that's it. No, I'm able to perceive you, to honor you, to admire you, to see you entirely in your humanity."
Mm.
So I start connecting like which are the person that sees me and give me the possibility to see them as well.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good way of
Um,
approaching it. Yeah.
yeah, and it's the how we accompany it. Like it's not shifting my life; it's
Mm.
being with me in my life in every single step, and of course, give me the privilege of being of seeing them in every single step. So I said, like, there is something that I've been understanding, of course, through marriage, but in every single area of my life, and it's receiving you.
Mhm.
Like I receive you when you are motivated, but also when you are frustrated. I receive you when you're tired. I receive you with your big dreams, but I receive you as well when you feel like you're nothing. Every single part, how we receive people and how we accompany each other. It's not solving things, it's not fixing things, it's being there, walking, being
Yeah.
witness
Yeah,
of life.
yeah. I know, and it's such a powerful thing when you do get it. You almost can't imagine life without it, without that person who like you say, sees you in your all your spectrum of human emotions and activity. There's something very special about that because, you know, I don't know, it gives you a sense of mattering. You know, I matter to you. and you matter to me. And I think it's such a small word, but actually, when you think, I've said this before, but if there's 8 billion of us, mostly, like I commute to London every day. Most of the people there don't matter to me. I'm amongst them, and I'm happy to be amongst them. I love being amongst people. I'm, a packed commuter train is not a bad thing for me. Um,
Okay.
but nobody matters to me in that day, unless, of course, something happens. And then I find myself either being helped or helping complete strangers. And in that moment, they matter to you. But then it passes. So actually, the people that matter to you are very, very small in number. You might have a fleeting I believe most people are fundamentally good. I really do. Despite what we're all reading in the news about all these monstrous things that are going on, like they are the outliers. I believe it. I believe those people are not representing not the people who are just getting on with their lives and living in a wholesome way. So, when you do have somebody close to you who really honors you, sees you, witnesses you, I think it's something extremely special, because there's so many of us that really, that pass in our lives and mean very little. Well, let's get into the 5 that matter to you then, Laura. Let's see.
Yes.
I'm itching now. I want to know who you've picked. So, should we get into it?
Totally, totally.
All right. Who's number 1 then?
Well, of course, I have to start since the beginning, and family. As I mentioned, you here in Colombia, maybe a cultural way, but the I have the blessing of having a wonderful family. Not perfect, of course. We're humans, and we see each other in every single part of humanity, in every single dimension. But of course, the unconditional love of my family, especially, of course, my mom, my dad, and my brother. Um, and this is a word that I've been hearing a lot, like, yeah, unconditional love, unconditional love. Yeah, we have to dig into unconditional. But when you start like understanding, and it's simple, but it's with no conditions. Uh, and that part, it makes sense because it is not like you don't have to do anything. You don't have to perform anything. You don't have to achieve anything. Just being you, it's enough. It's part of how they receive you, on how they understand you, on how they support you, on how they are there with you. So yeah, like unconditional love. Like my mom, of course, she's like this fire of creativity. So she's always solving things. She's an architecture. And of course, I said like she starts seeing the world in a different way and build it up. Sometimes we just make like some internal jokes with my father, like, oh, my mother starts saying like, and we're like, oh my God, what is next? Oh my God. And
Yeah.
she
What's
said,
happening?
yeah. And she said, I think I have an idea. And we're, oh my God, it's not just an idea. Of course it will happen. Like this force of moving forward, of figure things out. That's my mom. And since I am little, I've been having like that force of moving, and of course like this reference, women reference of moving forward and figure things out and solving and fixing and organizing, like that strength, that power, uh, with the perfect balance, with care, with love, with company. Oh, that's my mom.
So hang on a minute. Wait. So are we doing mum as number 1, or are we doing all of family as number 1?
Family, family.
I was going to say, hang on a minute. Have we moved off already? I mean, okay. Well, what is your family structure then? How you have siblings? What's yours?
Yeah, I grew up with my mom, my dad, and my brother, my little brother.
Okay.
I still call him baby, but of course he's 30 years old. But yeah, that's like the initial family structure. I've been married for almost 4 years, so of course now I'm living with my husband. But yeah, that's like the family.
And what about, do you have like an extended family, aunties, uncles, cousins? Is it quite a big deal when you have a get together? What's it like?
Yeah. from both sides, like from my mom's sides, my dad's sides, and now even the family of my husband. Of course, it became my family. Um, Aunts, cousins, grandparents, they're not longer with us, but still, like that presence, it's been always part of this essence of us. Here, specifically in Latin America and in Colombia, we're really, really close to our families. So I don't know, we have birthdays or reunions every single month, every single 2 weeks, but we have to meet like all of us. Um, I remember what we were like organizing the invitation list for our wedding, and it was just 160 people were just family, like
Oh my goodness.
close family. Um, my father, he has between 7 and 8 brothers and siblings, my mother and my father. So, of course, they have their partners, the spouses, their kids, the grandkids, all of them. So it's like a normal reunion. We have to take a lot of chairs and figure it out how we're going to organize. And we always said, oh, here, there is a sentence here like, um, if we are able to eat, like if 5 people is able to eat from here, 7 will be able to eat as well.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like,
Make it
come
spread.
here. Yeah, make
Yeah.
here. We will join
I
each
love that.
other.
I love that. Bring a chair.
Yeah,
Most
bring
most
another
people
chair.
say bring a dish, like, as in some food. No, bring a chair. And bring a chair as
Bring
well.
a chair.
I
And
love the
if you
image
don't
of
have a
that.
chair, don't worry. I can move and we can organize and
We
you
can
can
share
sit
it.
in here. Yeah. So
What would
family, it's important.
Oh, I can imagine, especially with that much of an extended family. Now, and what would a typical get together be about? So in the UK, for example,
Mhm.
we in the summer we do barbecues, and in the winter we do roast dinners. I mean, we're not very imaginative, to be honest. That's it. It's either meat cooked outside or meat cooked inside. But it's but that's a typical kind of British way of communing, if you like, unless there's like a party or like a birthday or whatnot. But if you're just doing regular family get-togethers, that's what you do. But what's the kind of tell me more about what a get-together would have. What would you typically eat? Would there be music? Is it just really is it outdoors? Is it indoors? Is it formal? Is it informal?
How it
Tell
is.
me.
Of course, there are like some extraordinary events, yeah, weddings, the birthday, the baptism, well, these type of extraordinary things. But we're mostly in the common, like in the ordinary things in life. There is an expression here. I have to say it in Spanish, and I will translate it like, "Vamos a tomar tinto," like, "Come and grab a coffee in here." But it's something like normal, like
Come,
daily.
yeah, come as you are, as they say over here.
Yeah, come
Come
here,
as you are.
we can have a chat. Um, I think food is really important for us, especially well in my family. Um, I personally, I love cooking, and I think it's the way to express love to each other. And we
Yeah.
gather around the table, and we gather around it to have the conversations, to share things, to understand what do you like. How can I change the recipe so this person that's it's not able to eat these kind of things can have like exactly the same dish as others? To get together into it. Yeah, normally indoor like at the house, at the places that we have, but also outdoor, like in a really casual way. Let's go to a park. Let's go to a place that we know. Music, yeah, probably. It's always part of the celebrations. Last like big celebration I had with my family was for New Year. So we get all to know each other. We had the opportunity to share in where my parents live. It's like 1 hour from Bogota. Um, we did a camping there. We start celebrating. We start dancing and making like dancing contest. We have several dishes in the row. We celebrate also as well with something that it's called like Año Viejo, like the old year. We said we create like some fake humans. Like we take like old pants and old T-shirts and fill it up with newspaper, old newspaper, just to burn it out like burn it out.
Like an
The
effigy.
old yeah. Um, they have those like, of course, every family have the traditions, but midnight we start. Of course, the first thing it's always having like a huge hug together, and thanking for being there for the new year. I always love to start running with my suitcase or my luggage. Like I said, I really want to have a lot of trips this year, so I take all my luggage and I start running every single way. Um, so that it's like
Yeah.
it's celebrating life, as I tell you. as I tell
Sounds amazing. I mean, I just want to circle back to this idea of picnics just for a minute. That caught my attention.
you.
So I've noticed, I live in the south of England. It's very multicultural. You've got everybody represented somewhere. And in the summer, the picnics of childhood just don't seem to be so much of a cultural thing now. Except if I go to a park, I know there will be large families of, for example, Indian people. Indians love to commune as a large family and have picnics together, and they play a bit of cricket. And you can see, and as I say, I spent a lot of time in India, so I always catch my eye because I can see them bringing out all their food. And in India, it's all about sharing, right? So everyone brings something, and everyone just eats and takes what they want. And I noticed that um, if I was to see 5 picnics out in the park, I would say pretty much none of them are British in the sense of what we would say are sort of, um, you know, I don't like to say British in that sense anymore because what is British? But you know what I mean? People who've not brought any kind of outside culture to the party. So, you know, I would imagine South Americans know how to do that too, and they do. From what you're saying, is this idea of communing outside in large groups, coming together with food and just enjoying each other in a very casual way. I'd like to see a bit more of that from just all of us, But I do think it's definitely a cultural thing. There's definitely, and I love that. I love people bringing cultural things from their uh, culture of origin to us. And I joked the other day, is like, for me, if I get to travel to South America, I'd be very happy about that. I have been to Mexico,
Okay.
but I didn't leave. I only went to one place and stayed there. Didn't even come out. But it's like to be able to live in a country that is multicultural and experience all these things in one place. It's almost like these countries are being brought to me, and I don't even have to go anywhere. I'm just like, I can just experience it. So I'm very grateful of it, is what I'm trying to say. And I find it very enriching as an experience here in the UK. And what about Colombia? Is Colombia itself quite multicultural, or do you feel like it's mostly Colombians? But I'm just trying to get a flavour of it. Do other cultures come in and make their homes with you?
Well, yeah, it's multicultural, but it's still like
Predominantly Colombian.
yeah, it's mainly Colombian. Of course, we have like some people from other countries that lives here because of work. There are a lot of people that they said like, I've been working my entire life and I just want to retire in Colombia. This is like this perfect paradise in which I can commute with people. I can enjoy the weather. I can
Yeah, why would you leave?
like celebrate this. So yeah, many people like decide to, and they always finish. And I fell in love with a Colombian person. So my spouse, it's a Colombian person. They
Yeah.
just get into it. Um, but yeah, you're able to find like a lot of different ways of of course perceiving life. But still, I think we have like a sense of being Colombian to
Yeah.
understand what makes us us.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that too. And again, we're having we're getting it's a bit deep now, Laura. Is that all right? Um,
Correct.
what is cultural identity anyway? I think it is the rituals, the kind of routines, the food, the language, the references, the
The
media, the stories, the television, the films. it's lots and lots of things that define a person's culture. But I know fundamentally I'm a British person. I know that that's who I am. I was born here. My family's from here, and etc. But I also consider myself a bit of a traveler, and I do love going around and living in other countries and experiencing other countries. And so I think it's a very enriching thing. That's all I'm trying to say, really. And also, when am I invited to this party? I'm coming to one.
Please. And I love the street parties. Um,
Oh, we're good at
of
those.
course,
We're
the
good at those.
community, like the community, yeah, your family, but also your neighbors. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you just open your door. It's not that common in like big cities, but especially like in the smaller cities, people just open the door, sit in front. Maybe they have some cookies, maybe they have a dessert, a coffee. Of course, it's always welcome. And it's just gathering. So other people gets into the door, and there are like places, specifically more warm places here in Colombia, in which like night parties or nightclubs are at the street. They
Oh,
just
wow.
open the doors. They just put a few chairs on there. They have this big music device, and we start like dancing in
That's
the
it.
street. Like we don't have anything. Of course, you can find like really fancy places to have a wonderful party, but still, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's the common thing in here.
All right. So Bad Bunny got it right.
Yeah, there is a part in the show. There was like a party and a kid is sleeping in two chairs. I had a chance
Yeah, I
to
saw
see it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we said like every single person in Latin America have slept in two chairs when
Yeah.
their parents were
Parents are
in
partying.
party. Yeah,
I
and
love
we
it.
just slept there, and we said we know how to sleep in two chairs while you're dancing and learning, and it's not like only this adult party; it's with the kids in there, so we are sharing each other and all of that.
No. Well, listen, I feel like I've hogged your number one by asking you loads of questions, but I think obviously I'm getting from you that family, of course, is super important, and that's why
Yeah.
you've kind of cheated and you've put 160 people in the first one. I mean, come on, Laura, that's
Come on.
that is stretching it. No, I'm just kidding. But listen, are you happy to move on to number two, or is there anything more you want to say?
I would love said well like one few more things about like this internal family, like this initial family. Dad, of course, is like this kid's first love, this perfect man, devotion, committed. He's really social. He makes friends everywhere, and he always tell me like till the end of the world. Like, don't worry, I will be there for you until the end of the world.
Oh, nice.
And of course, with my brother, it's like these playing, these having a game, like being kids again, even if we are an adult now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I said like I've been learning from him to ask the questions, take the decisions, even if they're not like the logical decisions. I spoke with my mom like a few weeks ago, like the logical thing for my brother, of course, is not the logical next step.
Yeah.
He will figure this out. But with family, I was thinking about it and I said, definitely, I think it's the every I've been hearing a lot that parents would like to give like to roof over his head, like that's what I want to give to my kids.
Hmm.
And I said, oh my god, they did the perfect combination about breaking the ceiling, breaking the roof in here, but giving an stay, like a perfect place to stay, like a warm. So
Yeah.
they break the ceiling, giving the safe ground, because you're able to do anything you want to. You're able and capable on all of the things, and let's figure it out. But don't worry, it will be always like a cozy, grounding
Treat.
you,
Yeah.
a
Lovely.
safe space. So yeah, that's
That's lovely. And
first
do you want to say say something about your brother, particularly apart from that you enjoy each other's company? Anything you need to say about him before we move on?
Yeah, I said it's having the possibility of having 4 years old and I start playing with him and having tickles, but at the same time, the perfect combination as well of making the tough decisions and the tough questions that you need to do. And of course, it's like, what are you doing? What are you quitting this job? What are
Yeah.
you
Somebody
taking
to
this
challenge you.
position?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
He's
that.
that type of person, like that moves the family structure. But it's like, okay, it's what he wants. It is what he needs. And we need to advocate for ourselves on
Yeah.
it. So
Well, listen, I thank you for that. I feel like I've got a real sense of how you live and the people that are in your life, and I think that's absolutely marvelous. All right. Well, we probably should move on to number two, though. Is there who's
number
next for
two.
us? Yep.
Yeah, I have to say, of course, my husband.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, he's dead, man. It's my partner of life. It's funny when I started telling this story. We've been together for 18 years. So we started our relation. I was 15 years old. So it's like this little kid understanding love, the first school thing. Um, and of course they said like you will never marry your school
Sweetheart.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we did. We did it.
Oh.
Um, and it's been amazing because I said we've been raising each other. Like we start our relation. I was 15, he was 16 years old. Uh, but it's been amazing understanding how can we accompany each other in every single stage of life. So of course, at school, starting university, ending up graduation, MBAs, but after like finding jobs, first jobs, changing jobs, like in every single stage of our life that we really change. Like if I remember myself when I was 15 years old and now the person I am is like we've been changing.
Yeah. And doing it together. Yeah.
Doing together and
Yeah.
being able to receive each other in every single stage and in every single part. So he's you see it like we are completely different. He's this simple, pragmatic, structure person. Like he's not gonna make a mess from everything. He's really clear, straightforward, organized. And it's like, oh my God, how you figure things out. Um, but yeah, it's I always told him like you're my knight without armor. Because he's not afraid to get into this messy, crazy mind of understanding. And he's like in a really calm way, in a really pacific way. Like, and he said, "How are you? Why are you asking me this?" Hmm. You just start moving differently. Your eyes are shifting from one place to another. How are you feeling?
Hmm.
Nothing. Are you sure? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And he just figures things
He
out.
just knows.
He just knows
Yeah.
in a really clear way. Uh, but yeah, being having the privilege of being as well the witness of his life, it's been a bless. It's a blessing to have every single day with him, the safe place to build it up, to understand the way he sees the world and how is so natural, and I'm able to see myself through his eyes in a really natural way of just receiving and being and enjoying like the simple things in life.
What I'm hearing is some two people who found each other and then have gone through every life stage. I mean, there's obviously plenty more to come, but it feels like, and I've used this before. I don't know if it's on the podcast, but certainly said it before. That well, you know that when you're with the right person, wherever you are, you feel it. You just feel home. Home is everywhere, and I think that's what how you're describing your relationship makes me feel like that. I think this is coming across to me like that anyway.
Totally, yeah. It's that safe place that you're able to be. Like I am in all the dimensions. I am
Mm.
with him.
And you are more, I guess, more Laura with him. I always think that's a really good point. If somebody's more of themselves with the person they're with, that has to be a really good thing.
Yeah. well, more Laura and all the type of Lauras, I will say.
Yeah, fully expressed,
Fully
Laura.
expressed with all the things in here.
Oh, I love that. What does he do for a living? Is he in the same space as you, or does he do something different?
Yeah, he worked in leadership as well.
Ah.
He's leading the company that we've been managing for, well, 11 years from now. So he delivered workshops in soft skills specifically for young people and adults in companies. So
So,
he's always working. Tell me, sorry.
no, I was just thinking, imagine what you two are like when you argue. It's like two leadership coaches arguing. What must that look like? It's like nobody's going to get away with anything, are they? You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Everybody wants to know what's the conversation under the conversation.
Yeah,
What's the
definitely.
meaning behind the meaning? It would never, it wouldn't be straightforward, would it?
Yeah, it's really funny. I have to say, sometimes we're just arguing and I have just to move my head and start laughing in the inside because it's exactly like that. And my friends are always saying like, oh my God, like your dates, we bring out a lot of frameworks. So, hey, we can try this communication framework. Or we can try this. And now there is this new, I don't know, activity that we want to do. And let's try this. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I will.
I can totally imagine, and I bet when you do have an argument, it's quite there's probably part of you that wishes you took minutes, so that you can then use it in your materials. You're like, oh yeah, when you sidestepped that particular issue, that was very helpful. I'm going to learn from that.
I want to understand deeper. What do you mean about it? Please.
Yeah, no chance.
Let's elaborate on it. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. All right. So, well, husband's going to be very happy. He's got his own slot. Should we move on to number 3, or is there anything else you want to say more about him?
Oh, yeah. Number 3 are like, yeah, I think we'll start my friends in general. People like family that you choose. That's the definition of my friends, especially one of them, Silvia. She lives in Mexico from a few years ago. And my friends started making a lot of jokes because they said like Jose, my husband, is like the it's kind of Silvia, but in a different way, but in the exact way. Well, we've been best friends since we are 5 years old. We've been sharing our lives, and Jose is this person that's see life's really simple, pragmatic, organized, structured. He has a system for everything, and it really like it works. Life is easy and moves with it. With Sylvie, we go deeper. We get into the complexity of things.
Yeah.
And she has the superpower of not just understanding, but even enjoying like complexity of human beings and understanding. And what if, and is this place in which you can explore every single part of you, of your story, of people around you. It's like going into all dimension. And it's
Well,
exploring myself without judgments.
yeah. Plus, also, if she's known you pretty much your whole life. I mean, first 5 years, what were you wouldn't have been worth knowing. Not a lot of chat.
So
So 5 years plus, that's pretty much your whole life, isn't it? And to have somebody who knows you and doesn't have to fill in any gaps. I mean, I'm very fixated on friendship at the moment. I'm fascinated by it actually, because I think it's the one relationship that has no like rules and regulations about it. Going back to unconditional love in a family. I mean, I mean, let's just explore that for a minute. In a family, there's unconditional love, as in it's an unbreakable bond. But it isn't unconditional from a behavioral set. I mean, there's still expectations around hierarchy, respect, communication, responsibility. There's a whole bunch of unspoken things like aunties and uncles, and that everyone has their place and everyone understands what their role is to play, right? And we kind of know the rules. In friendship, it's so wide open. A friend can be any age, size, shape, type, person, anything. And the rules of friendship are so personal and so boundaryless. And yet friendship is such a fundamental like they say, people who live a long life have a lot of friends. And having a social life is super important. And feeling connected to people who aren't your family or your co-workers or your romantic relationships is super enriching for you. So, and again, back to my point, there's 8 billion of us passing each other every moment. How can we make a friend? How does anybody make one? You know, I'm making new friends now in my mid-50s, and I'm loving it. I love it. I just find people, I'm not shy about that. I want to be people's friends. I think, and I might even say it. Can we be friends?
Come on, be friends.
Come on, let's just be friends. But I think there's a lot of shyness around it. I think people don't know how to make friends sometimes, and I wonder if there should be books about it. Should be, you know what I mean?
Friends,
How to make
definitely,
friends.
and how to understand friendship. I think definitely like the self emerge in this genius friendship. And yes, sometimes we picture friendship like this, this long relation. But I'm also feel really grateful for maybe the short friendships that I had in
Yeah.
a few moments of my life. Like that was exactly what I needed to. We just our roads get connected, deeply intersected, and we move
Yeah.
forward, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
definitely is the way you choose, because in family you're really grateful, but of course you're born in that situation.
yeah. And it's
That's
for
your
life.
family. Exactly.
Yeah.
You will, of course, there are different type of families, different type of relations, but no matter what happened, you will always be. He will he will always be my brother. That's it.
Yeah.
That's something that you're not able to change. In friendship, you decide.
Mm.
You have that option of being there. So of course, it changed the perspective
Yeah,
of things.
but remember, they have a choice as well. So actually, as if you have a friend that you've had since 5, every single time, every part of your life, she had a choice too. Sylvia could have said, "I don't like her anymore. I don't want to be her friend,"
Yeah.
and that is a risk that you don't carry so much with marriage and co-workers and family because there's a social structure there that keeps you. You know, you have to give notice at a job. You have to get divorced as a wife, and to leave your family as a pretty near enough impossible thing. But the fact that it is so
It's true.
optional and yet it still endures, that tells me that what you have with Sylvia must be pretty special. So I just want to. I've gone off on one about friendship, but I'm just absolutely fascinated by it. I think it's one of the most complex relationship types that we have, and we don't talk about it enough. I don't think it doesn't feel like we do.
Yeah, totally. We talk a lot about families and spouse, like these romantic relations, but no about friends. They're like, yeah, no rules, no clues. It's based on freedom, totally freedom. And
Yeah,
yeah, I really like what you said. Like, there is an action in which you stop being a spouse, an employee, but a citizen, all of them.
yeah, yeah.
You don't say like, I'm not gonna be your friend anymore since tomorrow at 3 p.m. No,
Yeah. Here's the paperwork.
it's a piggy.
All right. Well, listen, I love the idea of friendship as a category, and we've talked a little bit about Sylvia. Is there anything more you want to say about either of those people or things before we move on?
um, I was said having the possibility to, in every dimension, to have the conversation about the deeper things in life, but
Yeah.
also the silliest thing.
Yeah,
Like, I have to
play and serious. Yeah, I love that.
totally. I have to say, I just wrote to my friends just before getting into the podcast, and I told them like, I'm really nervous about it. What if we start doing this? What if? What if? And I don't know why they sent a song that we were singing when we were at school, and I'm not able to take that song out of my mind. And it's like, they are there. Like, it doesn't matter what happened.
Well,
they
we
will
have
be
to have
there.
the song now. Come on, Laura, we have to have the song now. No, seriously, you can't bring that a song up and then not sing it. Come on.
It's a mass song in Portuguese, and I'm not really a good singer, but it's like celebrai con júbilo, Señor, and it's like really dancing. I have to say, I heard it before the podcast, and I was
Puts you in the right mood.
totally.
Yeah. Oh, you have to send it to me afterwards. I'd like to hear it.
I will do it.
All right. Well, that's what I mean. Friends, as a category, I love it. And I think more, as I said, more celebration and more appreciation of just how important they are in all of our lives is what I say. All right. Number 4 then. Who's number 4, Laura?
4. I would love to tell you a name, definitely, but it's people in where I fell in love about leadership, especially in 2 big parts of my life, as I mentioned, in Scouts and in these Jesuits workshops and experience that I had. People around that. And it's funny because I heard that sentence I mentioned you at the beginning, that try to leave the world better that you found it.
Yeah.
So I started hearing that in Scouts, and then in the Jesuits they said, I refuse to live a life, and I said, okay, life, I got it. I understand your message. Okay. But it's this possibility, and people that went with me into those experiences, specifically the people who facilitate those, really shaped, like, I don't think there isn't a specific word, sentence that change entirely my life, but there are like those moments of truth that life takes like a different course. And definitely one of them, it's there. There is a sentence that I always heard in those camps, and it was like, to be more in order to serve better. Jesuits really changed the way I perceive, of course, this spirituality, but in every single part of the. So yeah, to be more, like, of course, I have to learn more and develop myself and
Yeah.
be able to understand in order to serve others.
Yes. That's the important bit.
That's the part.
Yeah.
A lot of degrees, and it will never be enough. If you want to learn and learn and learn and learn and do and do and do and do, it's not gonna be enough. But when you understand that it's in order to serve yourself and others in a better way, it's way things click it out. And I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly. Discernment, Ignatius discernment. They said, like, you are always, like, in life, you're always deciding between the good things and the bad things. And normally, that will be an easy decision. Of course, you will take the good decision. But life, it's not good and bad. And in this discernment, it says, like, you will be able to choose between what is good and what is better. And the things that are better for you, you are the only one who knows that. So it's not just black and white. It's not good and bad. It's understanding there are a lot of things that are really good.
Yeah.
But what is the best thing
For you.
In that moment of life? So yeah, that and I will say the third thing finally for this category. The last moment of those workshops, we start doing like a, if I translate it, it's like the Ignatius pause, in which we pause. We finish the day. We need to make like an evaluation, but it's more reflection about the day. And there was a question that it really changed perspective for me. It was, how did you notice God presence today? That was the last question. And I started connecting things through it. And well, specifically for me, like, yeah, sometimes they show you like a God that it's there in the sky,
Yeah.
like looking at you and judging you and keeping the track of everything. No, it's like, hey, thank you for giving me the possibility to notice God through you. Um, and of course, I am able as well to be God's presence to other. So it's just bring it out into the real
Yeah.
life. Um, that part is start changing the way I interact with humans. And it's like, oh, what makes us humans? Oh, but we are also like God presence for ourselves and others. And of course, I'm saying God because I believe in it. But it's like if you want to call it energy, if you want to call it
Mhm.
life, Buddha, every single word you want to use for it is this is spirituality that you will
Yeah.
decide to live in your way, but we live it through people.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's all in context, isn't it? I mean, yeah, okay, it's a few things here. So let's talk about the presence of, what did you notice how God well, I think how did you
Notice God's
notice
presence
God's
today.
presence today? That's right. You could supplement the word God for how did you notice spirituality's presence today, like you say. But actually, when you said that, where I went to was, what are you grateful for today? It's the same thing, and I'm not a religious person, and I don't pray, but I
Mhm.
do I do make time to stop and appreciate everything that I have, and if I have had a particularly enriched day, uh, I will reflect on that and go, gosh, that was really something. When that thing happened earlier, and that person said that thing, or whatever. Um, and I don't know if it's because I practice it, or I'm just incredibly lucky, but I pretty much can end a day every day, and I know I have great good fortune to be able to do this. But I can finish the end of the day, and I can almost always think of something that was special from the day that's just gone past. Um, and I call that being just, you know, thankful for the day, and what it provided me. But I think if you have that extra layer of faith, I'm meeting, of course, all types of people in this podcast. I never know. I don't go into this thing making a big old, um, research thing about, well, who am I going to meet when I'm actually on the podcast? I never know, really. I know a little bit about you before we start. And I am coming across more and more people who have faith, because obviously you said right at the beginning you are the sum of the 5 people you spend most time with. Well, I was raised without faith. Most of my friends don't have faith. My partner doesn't. My children don't. Nobody in my close life um,
Yes.
believes in God. We're all good people. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but we are all good people. I promise. Um, but I don't know anything about it really. I know about it from basics, but I'm finding myself engaging more and more with people of faith, and it's quite interesting. The the rituals are and the behaviors are the same. They just have a slightly different um, imagery, I should say. But yeah, I can totally see how that's important to you, all of that, and why leadership is such a massive part of who you are and what you do.
Yeah, it's part of the process. And you said it's grateful. Like for you, it's grateful for other people. They call it energy,
Mm.
life. It doesn't matter. It's the sense of being connected with something. Normally people said something bigger, but no,
Yeah,
you're big enough to
yeah.
be part of it, you know? But it's something else in it. Something that carries you.
Mm.
Um and it's part of the process. I remember I have reference of new movies, but it's Life of Pi.
Oh
Um,
yeah, great movie.
Great
Life of
movie.
I
And
thought it was Life of Pi.
Life
I
of
don't,
Pi, yeah,
Pea
sorry.
pie doesn't matter.
No,
Anyway, I know the
Life
movie.
of Pi, yeah. And he said something about like God is a huge house. Uh, Everyone decide where to get or how to enter into that house.
Yeah,
It's through the door, through the window, through every single part. It's impossible that every single human being believes just in
Yeah.
one way of understanding it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
just understanding what makes sense to you and how you start connecting through it. That's the like
Yeah.
for me specifically, I'm terrible. My memory, it's terrible. Like I don't know the specific laws and the I don't know sentences of it. It's just
The feeling
it's
and the
just a
spirit of it.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That sense makes sense. Good. All right. Well, listen, we're at the finale now. Number 5. Who's that going to
Five,
be?
finally. And it's I mentioned you my fourth category was people where I fell in love with leadership. This category I decided to name it like people with I get married with leadership. um so yeah, alive is the company I mentioned you and the people I've been working on it that deeply believes on it. And of course, the company that I'm working right now, my coworkers, the Power Rangers that Brandon mentioned in the podcast. Um, remember that like that those sentences that life says, try and live the world better. I refuse to live. And I said, okay, life, I understand. But how can I do it? And then a life arrived and it says like transform the world one heart at a time. And what Brandon says, and I always start making jokes with him about he always start the events like, welcome to a Stakeholder Santa coaching, where we believe everyone deserves a Stakeholder Santa later. And he started all the events with that sentence. And it was like, life, thank you for giving me like the clues on how to move forward. I am understanding the message. So yeah, definitely people who believes on this, people who works every single day on this, it's part of the process. Like, of course, in both, I've been really deep into the leadership and the training and the workshop, but my main roles on it are in sales. Um, and it's funny, like, okay, sales, but leadership, how does this? Um, And I remember I never pictured myself as a salesperson when I was little because I really need to destroy the concept of salesperson, like this pushy person, like tell me and get and buy and get. No, 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 no. Well, that's not sales. Um, there is a sentence that it says, "Sales, to sell is to serve." So it's understanding others. So I think it's more than saying things is recognizing the other is the avatar that when I say I see you,
Mm-hmm.
for me that is sales, and sales is that process in which I'm able to see people, understand, and like decodify. I deeply love to understand human beings, and of course having the conversation on which will be the next step for you. So yeah, I work in sales, understanding all of this. But people that I work daily, it's like we are changing the world through it.
Mm.
We are doing things that matter. We're helping people through it, especially in this moment of life. We're hyper connected, but we've been never more isolated. Uh, we've been having we never had access to that much of information, but we're even more and more confused. So how we can start building up in this new environment.
Well, so I think this category is co-workers then, isn't it? This is the people you work with.
Mhm.
And your company again is called Alive, Alive. Is this
Yeah,
right?
alive. Yeah,
Okay.
that was my past company. I've been working on it. That is the company that Jose is leading in this moment, and in which we were developing soft skills training for kids, young and adults.
Well, I mean, and I just think how you've approached this subject has been fabulous. So you've actually got all the categories of people here, haven't you? You've got family, you've got friends, you've got romantic partner, and now you've got co-workers. Um, and again, if we can just pause on what is a co-worker anyway. I was told once there are no friends in business, and I remember hearing that and being so depressed. Like, what? I've made so many friends in business. What are you talking about? There are no friends in business. And I think what this person was trying to say was there is an element um, of transaction in coworkers. There is an element of structure that
Mhm.
that gives it a slightly different kind of context and meaning than a friend, because a friend can't fire you. A friend can't do your performance review. A friend can't decide your salary or your bonuses, etc. So
Mhm.
I do know what they mean. It is a very specific category of person, but I suppose I still feel you can build really beautiful, long-lasting relationships with the people that you work with. I do believe that. And I think if
Yes.
you've got a common purpose, like you're building something that's bigger than, the I don't know, the chairs and the tables and the walls and stuff, you're actually building something that has meaning and purpose. I think then it's inevitable that you are going to make very solid, long-lasting and very fulfilling relationships. So I'm glad you've approached it this way. I think giving co-workers a category of their own is really, really good.
Yeah, I also heard about not making friends and your boss is your boss. I always end up my conversations with Brendan and I said, "Oh my God, that was really unprofessional." Like, like I told him like, I need to open an unprofessional space. We will open and end it up, but we will have this moment. Um, and I mentioned him like a few weeks ago, like, of course we are coworkers, yeah. And yeah, the coworker can define your bonus, your salary, all those things. But I think it's something different, the role and the person behind the
Yeah,
role.
yeah.
And for me, that's the difference in which I start building up. Of course, I have a role with Brendan. I need to, I don't know, deliver the results. I need to present things clearly. I need to do all the things that are established on my contract. But with the person behind that role, I've been learning in a way I can't explain it. Been learning about the business, about leadership, uh, about myself, about how he perceives life. So yeah, understanding the person behind. And you did the perfect question at the beginning. Who are you? It's not just the role that you're performing. It's not your job title on LinkedIn. It's who you are.
Hmm.
Um, and I remember I mentioned this in the workshops I deliver previously. I always grew up hearing like, uh, your personal life and your professional life should be separate.
Yeah,
And there is a sentence that it's always there. Should be separate.
yeah.
And I said, I never understood that. I can't get into work, like I'm getting into the office and I said, okay, life, wait me. See you at 6 p.m. No,
Mm.
of course not.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm working with my life. I'm working with my feelings, with my motivations, with my frustrations, with my pains, with my injuries, with all, like, I'm the whole package. Of course, Jesuits say it perfectly. Um, we said in Spanish, like, eh, personas, espacios, lugares. It's like you have to define the people, the moment, the place that you will start talking about it,
Mm.
but you're still you. So it's, I think one of the most powerful thing is to potential your humanity inside your job and align it in order to do something different with it.
Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly agree. I did a whole piece about this, Laura, back in the day.
Mhm.
I don't have many claims to fame, but I did do a whole piece that was done in Forbes about belonging in the workplace.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I said was you can't uninhabit yourself on the way in and re-inhabit yourself on the way out. It's like it's exhausting and it's actually it's phony. And who likes a phony person? Not me.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who thinks, oh, I really like that person. They're completely different in the daytime to how they are in the night, and that's just how I like it. I like people who pretend. So no, I mean I'm being hugely sarcastic, of course, but it's like, I think phoniness is one of the things that creates quite a lot of problems in the world. I think it's alienating. It causes mistrust, and it puts people very much on edge. And I think people are generally allergic to it. So I think we all know in a hair's breadth, we all know when someone is being authentic, and when they're not, our whole body reacts, doesn't it? We're like, what is that? What is this person?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. We like things to make sense, us human beings. All right. Well, listen, we're very much kindred spirits there, Laura. So it comes to the end of the 5. As I say, I love how you've categorized everybody. Clearly, leadership goes through the whole of this.
Yeah.
Personal development, sense of community, sense of belonging, family, not just in your home, but in your work. How you've cherished people. You've got Sylvia from 5. There's a whole bunch of key players here, but what's coming across to me is that you're kind of surrounded and immersed in a whole bunch of humanity, and that's how you like it. And I think it's really wonderful. It comes across as very warm and quite an inviting space to want to be. So, I'm looking at all of this, and I'm looking at your business, and I'm thinking, this is a pretty decent life. She's got the same weather all year round. She's got amazing family, food, friends, etc., and this new business of hers. Where are you going to focus next, Laura? What is next for you? How are you going to take all of this these gifts that you've been given here and carry that forward?
I think the way I honor all these blessings that I have in my life, it's serving better others, to be more, to serve better. And I found the perfect way of doing it through a stakeholder center coaching.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It's so structured. It understands humanity in a different way, and it gives us a clear path to move forward. Of course, there are a lot of corporate benefits of it, but it's way much more about it.
It's a way to live, isn't it?
Totally. And
yeah,
I mentioned, Brandon, of course we have the methodology, and for people who wants to get certified in that methodology in order to use it as the tool for executive coaching, oh my God, that's the path. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's an approach. It's the way you perceive things. During the trainings, Brandon said, okay, start using this with your spouse or your kids this afternoon and see what happened.
Yeah, I did. I started immediately. Brandon, if you're listening. And it went very well, actually. Anyway, go on,
it is
sorry.
amazing. And he said, during the master classes and workshops, and he said, take your phone, start writing to your husband. How can I be a better husband for you, or a better wife for you?
Mm-hmm.
I did it the first time, and my husband was like, what happened? What did you do?
Yeah, what have you done?
Are you
Why
okay?
are you feeling guilty?
What are you talking me about? In the middle of the day. And it opened a lot of conversation. How can I be a better friend for you? How can I be a better daughter? How can I be a better sister? And that simple question, that approach of understanding what others want, and you mentioned it at the beginning. What are your expectations? How can I fulfill it? How can I do it? For me, that is translating in a practical way that I see you. I see you, I recognize you. I want to understand, what do you need? What do you like? How can I support you in this journey? So it's the simple question that changed everything. And of course, follow up in order to make sure you're not just having a delightful conversation and that's it. No, I'm here because I care, because I understand. So that's the tool for me. I'm really passionate about it. I mentioned, Brandon, we have the methodology, but we need to make this the approach and the tool, because executive coaches are using this. People who are transitioning in their career, people who wants to retire and are not able to sure how to continue doing things or helping others, MGSEC is the methodology for doing that. If they are doing internal coaching, perfect. But what if I'm not in the leadership space? What if I'm not in the coaching space? What if I want to start using Feed Forward in my daily life?
Yeah.
What if I want to start having this stakeholder-centered approach in my personal life, in my professional life, in my community life? So I've been having this strong call all my life of changing the world and doing things. And I deeply believe that God's put me exactly in the place with the tool to do it, because it's not just talking about it, it's finding something practical, simple,
Yeah.
in order to move forward with it.
Yeah. And what a great purpose it is. I mean, think about it. It's like going back to your point about leaving this world a bit better than we were brought into it. If you are genuinely curious and genuinely willing to positively affect the person in front of you through your own behaviors and if you're brave enough to say, how can I do better for you? What a wonderful gift to do for both sides. Actually, it's hugely satisfying for the person asking the question, because you've then got proper guidance. Because we can all get it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we think we know what the other person wants from us, but if we don't flat out ask them, we're going to get it wrong, right? And as I said, maybe I should have asked you right at the beginning before we had this podcast. What do you want? How can I be for you, and vice versa? And thankfully, we've landed on it anyway. But it would have been, I suppose, an obvious thing now to have done that beforehand. And back to the nighttime showers thing. It's obvious when one points it out to you. And of course, we should always stakeholder centered. We should always be asking, how can I be better for you? How can I serve you more? What can I do to enable your day? All those things. I mean, why wouldn't we? Because then we've got the blueprint. We actually have the answer, and then we can choose to ignore it or not. That's up to us. But if somebody says, "Tell me how to love you more," and then they tell you, and if you do love them, you'd go, "I'm going to do that." And it's easier. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Just makes sense. So listen,
everything's connected in it.
and if we go right back to the beginning, what did I want from this call from you? Well, I wanted you to bring the energy. You've done that. I wanted to learn about Colombia. I've definitely learned that. I wanted to be invited to all of your parties. I think I've achieved that too.
You have the invitation for all the parties, reunions, conversations.
Well, and I hope I've put you at ease as such that you felt that you could, share these things with me. And I hope that your friends afterwards, you phone them and say, "I didn't need that song after all. It was fine. We're all good."
I have some good list. But yeah, definitely, I really want to thank you for giving the opportunity, the conversation. It was so natural, like things come out in a really friendly way. So
Good.
thank you for being a friend and listen and give me the possibility to recognize you and recognize myself through you. That makes sense to me.
Bless you. I feel just as grateful in your direction. Thank you for bringing everything you've brought today, and for the education as well. I do have one last thing to ask of you, though, Laura. I always like to ask my guests, who shall I speak to next and why? Because I just want to meet more friends and have more of these kind of conversations. So have you thought about it?
Yeah, sure. And I would love for you to have the conversation with Sylvia specifically.
Oh, Sylvia.
Yeah, I know you already went to Mexico, but you can travel again to Mexico and be with her and understand the way she understands the world and have a conversation. It's that, I would say, the perfect combination about like complexity, but simple things.
And play by the
Yes.
sounds of it. She likes to play as well, which is a good
Exactly.
thing. Oh, I'd love that. Well, if you can make that happen, maybe connect us over email or something, and we'll do that. That's definitely something I'd like to do. Well, listen, what time is it for you now? It's late for me now, but
It's 1 p.m., 1:17 p.m.
yeah, well, I'm in the darkness now. I bet you've got that beautiful
Wow.
sunshine. What's the temperature? Just make me feel bad now. What's your temperature?
No, it's like 16 degrees around.
Mm,
So it's like,
yes.
well, but it's lunchtime. It's the middle of the day. We're moving forward and starting the week. But I think for you will be a perfect time to get your that night shower.
Definitely. I've been looking forward to that. But no, we've got 6 degrees and rain again today. We've had about, talk about biblical. We've had at least 40 days of rain here.
Rain.
It's just
Oh,
absolutely relentless. So I'm very envious of the sky I can see out of your window. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure today, Laura. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. And yeah, just I wish you all the very best, and let's stay in touch. I want to come
very good.
and enjoy some of that music and those street parties sometime soon.
Totally. We will. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you very much for taking the time and recognize people and make them visible for others. This podcast, it seems like people are everything, definitely. And we need to highlight that, especially in this moment. So thank you. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you for saying.
for this show and have for this wonderful conversation that we already had.
Oh, bless you. It's very kind. Thank you. Well, that was Laura. And as I said, I think by now we're all booking our tickets, aren't we? Sounds absolutely amazing. All right. Well, if you did like that episode, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. That'll be marvelous. And moving on to next week, we have Jathan Genove. Well, what can I say about Jathan? He's an absolute veteran in his field of legal HR legal things, courtroom dramas where one company is taking a person to task or a person is taking a company to task. I mean, he's absolutely fascinating. And he's written a book called The HR Renaissance. And in it, and also in our podcast, we talk about how companies are getting this very, very wrong. So fascinating conversation, really, really strong character. I think you're going to love Jathan. I did. So until next week, enjoy, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.